Hey folks, how you doing? Peter John here, just doing a quick little video. I'm sitting in my car waiting for a relative to finish up the dentist, and I thought tonight just do a little video. I've just been around part of Gravesend, doing a bit of location scouting, done a load of photos, and what struck me was, excuse me, even though I've lived just outside Gravesend for almost my entire life, and I've probably spent maybe 12 years working in the town, and part of Gravesend, which I am set in a story, which is where the Civic Centre is, which is just there. I don't actually know. I've walked through here countless times because the last place I worked at in town was 2012 to about 2020. So it's 8 years ago I've been there, and our storage, where the car site, because I worked in car sales, I was a car valeter, car sales, and it was probably about a 5 to 10 minute walk between our car site where most of the work happened and our storage yard where we'd park our personal cars and we'd park all the what we call part exchanges. And then cars we didn't have space for because we had site on either side of the road sort of thing, and we could only fit maybe 30-40 cars there, so anything more than that excuse me, we'd have stored up, so I'd spend a lot of time walking to and fro, but normally earphones on, cracking on, not really paying much attention. Even when I knew I was setting a story here, I just never got round to taking those photos and spending a bit of time walking around. And although I didn't have much time today because I don't know how long my family member's appointment will be, I still thought, screw it, let's get out, get a few photos taken and see what I can, what jumps to mind. And what I've noticed is got the Civic Centre building, which encompasses the Gravesham Borough Council and the Woodville Halls, or the Woodville as it's called now. Whoever thought, I don't know. It's not snappier. The Woodville Halls sounds so much better in my opinion. But anyway, sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. So yeah, just walked around, took a load of photographs, and what has surprised me that's escaped my head was the amount of how I've just totally dismissed the entire I'm not sure what the topography is, I don't know, but it's not flat, the town centre, and on one level I knew that, but because in the story it's kind of a fortress, the Civic Centre building, and all the buildings around it have been levelled, but what has amazed me was I forgot that where the Civic Centre building's here and the railway's here, and you have to go down a slope into a dip to get to the train centre station. I'd forgotten about that. Now you can't level that off, so that's going to create blind spots, and it got me thinking, right, okay, well, we're knocking all the buildings down, where we're going to put cameras? And I think, well, we'll leave the traffic lights up, put cameras on them. When you read the story, you'll know why that works, because the enemy, they're not zombies, they're kind of mutants, but they're very low functioning. They're not going to have the awareness to think, oh, camera, and knock it down. Or will they? But yeah, so it's things like that. I knew the railway would cause something that the characters would be a problem, because again, you can't level railway line, and the railway line is a couple hundred yards from the town centre, from the Civic Centre, and it's cut through. You know, there's a big trench where the railway tracks go through a large chunk of Gravesend, and again, another problem. The old police station, which is the other side of the Civic Centre, although it's been torn down, the outer wall of it is still there, or like part of the wall of a building is still there. Obviously you can tear that down, But then I think it's where all the cells used to be. It's built deep into the ground. It's dug out. So you can't just, again, filling that up will be a nightmare. You can't just level it out because you'd have enough rubble and stuff like that there. But I think the way I've got it in the story, I think I might end up putting a lot of that rubble down in the railway tracks a little bit. But again, then it makes it easier for things to get up there. So see, I'm brainstorming as I'm going. Magic, ain't it? But it's all thinking like that. It's thinking when you're actually here and seeing it, it changes the story. It makes you think, oh, okay, I've got to rethink this bit. I can't just do it here. And that's where like Google Earth and Google Street View comes in handy, because you can just like zoom in. You can just pop in, have a look around. Because if I'm writing a story in Alabama, I can't get to Alabama. Even if we didn't have coverage right now, I still couldn't get there because just the cost. I've got enough vacation time. I could save up for money for it, but it's a cost and effort of going out there just for better location scouting. I can't. The cost-wise, I can't really justify it because I've got more important things to spend that money on. So that's where Street View and things like that come into handy a lot. And you go to Pinterest, just go to the internet, type in Gravesend Civic Centre, you'll see some great pictures. But I want my own ones because I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I'd look at and think, I need a bit of a zoom in on that one. And it has really got the some creative juices flowing, and it's made me realise. Sorry for background noise. There's British Telecom's working on phone lines over there. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but just saying that's why it's there. What was I saying? Yeah, it's given me a lot of things to think about. It's got the creative juices flowing, but in the sense that it's problem solving. What are the elements I've got to look at when I'm going through the next draft of this story, and how is it going to affect the story? How is it going to change things when the shit hits the fan? And I know I've just sworn I'm not meant to, and blah blah blah. But anyway, hey, I swear it's what it is. And like, what is going to happen when that happens, and how are the characters going to react, and what contingencies have been put in place? It's given me a lot to think about. As I've said in blog posts, my mum is a great artist. She's very skillful, even though she doesn't think it. She's got artistic skills, believe me. So I've said I bought a bottle of gin as a thank you, because my mum, she likes a little bit gin and tonic once in a while, and you know, she used to work for Gravesham Council, so she's got an insight for the layout and stuff like that. Even though I'm going to gut it, it's helpful because of thinking about building structures and integrity and layouts. And what struck me today is, in my head, it was just one building, and it was, but it's not. Even if they're connected, it's not just one building. You've got this Woodville Halls, you've got the Civic Centre. It's kind of broken up into different sections. So like, I'm thinking, oh well, I can put a helipad here. No, I can't. That's something which I've got to address now. I've got to think about. I'd love to have got up on the roof of a building, or one of the buildings, have a look around, but it's just not going to happen. Even without COVID, I don't think you could do that because of security purposes. Civic centres handle a lot of private information, and for all they know, I could be planning to jump off, which I'd never do, but that is something they've got to think about. So I don't think they'd have anything in place. I'm going to go back to the internet and see if there's any aerial pictures. I've got a half decent one from satellite images from like Google Earth sort of thing, but have a look, see if there's one which can get the a good bird's eye view of that level. But even without that, I can. That's a nice thing about writing fiction, because I can say, oh well, in the 20 years since it's being a civic centre, they've had to do this, this and that, so I can get round things if I need be. But aside from tearing the whole building down, which I don't want to do, I think it's got a great feel. Gravesham Vale Council building, the civic centre building, the Woodville. It's got a good energy to it. It's stood for a long time as well, so I want to keep that vibe there. When you look at it, you think, I can see when this was built, or at least refurbished, or whatever. And yeah, I'm going to make a lot of changes to it for the story, but I don't want to tear down the buildings. I want to keep that heart to them. And yeah, so today's been really creative, really good. It's given me a lot to think about, and I'll probably post some pictures on my blog at peterjeremy.com, and maybe on Instagram. I think my Instagram is Peter J Jeremy, but you search Peter Jeremy or go to my blog, there's links there. And I've got a lot to think about today now. Over the next few days, let the thoughts roam around my grey space, and yeah. But yeah, right folks, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're all having a good day. And just go out, be the best you can be, make the world a better place, and yeah, keep following that dream, yeah.